Hi everyone, happy Wind Down Wednesday. I am Isis. I'm so happy you're here. Y'all are officially making Wednesday my favorite day of the week. So if you can't tell by the song, I'm playing Alicia Keys' Girl on Fire. Today we'll be discussing her graphic novel, Girl on Fire. So yay, I have my copy. I see the hearts. I'm glad you're excited. I finished it this afternoon, as you can tell by the tabs. In my copy. Oh, hey, thank you. I like that. How are you, Sultana? Sci-fi sister. I like that. I like that. I have to make some shirts made of that or something. We'll be joined by author Angela Dalton, who picked this book. Hey, Michelle, I see you on the line down with the Collective Oakland. Good to see you. So yeah, I'm excited to discuss the graphic novel. I was born in Harlem. It's set in Brooklyn, so that's cute. And Lolo is just really smart. Oh yeah, I see Angela. So let me send you a. Here we go. So Angela will be joining us in a second. But in the interim, let me know how your Wednesdays have been. Hey!
Hi! Look at you! Oh my gosh, I love those earrings. Oh, all of it, all of it. Ah,
Like, let's focus on it. I'm just really not book related, but the short bob comes courtesy of Wrap-A-Lock, which is a curling tool for locks, which is a Black-owned company, which just makes me really excited. So,
I love it. It looks gorgeous.
okay. So how are you? How's your Wednesday been? I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for having me. You know, I've been so excited to talk about this book.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. I'm here for it.
yay. So I just want to say, Well Read Book says we are glasses. I don't know if you or us, but we're glasses inspo, which is great. I love being a four-eyed person, and I love your glasses as well, Angela. So before we dive into the book, there's a lot to talk about. Let's link to the shop. Oh yes, let me pin the products. Thank you. Thank you for looking out. That's why I love my community. And I just pinned the product to know. So if you want to go to Sistah Scifi, it's sisterscifi.com, and sister spelled TAH, and sci-fi it's spelled SSCIFI and .com. Okay, so now on to the fun stuff. So quick introductions. I am Isis Asari, CEO and founder of Sistah Scifi. Sistah Scifi is the first Black-owned bookstore focused on science fiction and fantasy in the U.S. as validated by the American Booksellers Association. And today, for Wind Down Wednesday, we have Angela Dalton, who is an author, but tell us more about yourself.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I am a children's book author. I have 3 picture books published to date. Thank you. I'm based in Oakland, California, which is a beautiful, magical place. It is hot here today. I'm going to have to take off my funky glasses because I see they're steaming up and that is not cute. Yeah, so I'm based in Oakland, and you know, I have been a long time lover of sci-fi and fantasy. I mean, ever since I was a little kid. So it's so fun. I mean, when I saw Sistah Sci-Fi, I was just like, yes, this has been what I've been waiting for. This is the bookstore I've been waiting for as a little kid. So thank you for doing this and just doing what you do. I mean, bringing community together around the love of books and uplifting specifically Black and Indigenous sci-fi and fantasy female writers, which is like, oh, we need that. We need that. So kudos to you. This is all great. This is all great.
It's been a lot of fun. Yeah, we like it's so interesting because we hang out a lot on social media and then we talk and then it's like we're both in Oakland. So we'll make that happen at some point. I'm sure. So maybe independent bookstore day. So we're having because yeah, I think I wasn't doing open houses before you moved to Oakland. So you can come and visit the space.
Oh, I do, yes.
Yay! Keisha just joined. Hey, Keisha, I saw your latest reel. I loved it. It's so funny. And I was going to ask you if I could repost. And do you have do you have a physical copy of the book?
Oh, you know I do. You know I do. And I had to like
Yay!
try to find my most like cool girl on fire t-shirt.
You're right.
I'm
Mine
ready.
says the future is black, and I think it's coming from all y'all. I think that's what it says. So I was like, I was trying to find my Nubia shirt, and I was like, I don't know where I put it. So this is
I
cool.
may have to add that to my collection though. I like that.
I can't. I think I'll have to remember the shop that I think she's on Instagram. Oh my God, I can't believe. Okay, anyway, we'll find out. So like, I gotta sort my life out. So, um, I'm just reading. Amy said, put that shirt in the mail. You know that. It's okay. So
I will get some.
Yay!
Oh,
Just yeah. Any other comments?
some Sister Girl collection. Hey, Sister Girl collection. Hey, Army Vet 5. Good people. All good people.
Yes, I'm here for the good people. So,
How
a
do
little
you,
bit. Okay.
I was gonna say, how do you want to start this? How do you want to get in?
Let me just do like so. Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys, co-written by somebody else and illustrated by Brittany Williams. Super cute. It follows the story of Lolo Wright as she discovers that she has superpowers. So that's the quick, and it's inspired by the Alicia Keys song "Girl on Fire," loosely.
That's important. That was an important ad there.
Yes, I guess let's start with the like. What made you decide to pick up the book? And when you read the book, what kept you reading? And when you finished the book, what did you think? So that's like 3 questions in one. Why did you pick it up? What did you think when you started reading it? And what did you think when you finished it?
Okay, those are all great questions. Good starting point questions. What made me pick up the book, I mean, it's Alicia Keys, first of all. So right there, that's like a stamp of like, it's gonna be cool. You know, I love Brittany Williams' art too. As the illustrator, I love her illustrative styles. Yes, she does. You know, in addition, she's done a lot of like Archies. She's doing the young Archie. Yeah, look at that. So, you know, first of all, it's just beautiful. It's just beautifully illustrated. I love the main character, Lolo. So when I saw that cover, I was just like, okay, I need to pick this up, you know, and especially like a black girl with superpowers. You know, I was like, I need to hear this origin story. So I was so excited for it. I think you had posted about it, and I just like literally went and like did the pre-order as soon as you posted. And this is really hard. So I'm going to try to do this a little bit kind of like how writers do critiques, right? We never say like this is awful, but we say this is what I liked and this is what could be improved upon. So when I first started reading the first page, I'm not going to lie, I was like, ooh, this might be rough. And I think
like right in, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Right? Like very first page, I was like, there's a lot of, you know, what they call like expository writing, where it's just like, this is Lolo. Lolo is 15. Lolo has a brother. And it's like, oh no. I don't know. I can't lie. Like I can't. It's just like, oh, you're just, you know, feeding me a lot of information right now. But when so I was like, okay, we're gonna keep going. First chapter. You always have to give a book, in my opinion, a first chapter. You have to get at least through that. So when I got through the first chapter, I was like, okay, I see what we're doing here now. Okay, Miss Keys and Mr. Wiener, I see the direction that we're going with this origin story. And, you know, so what I started to like about it was how they, you know, the family dynamic of Lolo's family, you know, it's her and her brother. And if they start the story out, you know, they're starting the same grade, even though they're a year apart. So already there's like some tension there, right? Like nobody wants to be in the same grade as their siblings. So, so there's a little bit of tension there. I love the setup of like the dynamic between the father and the grandmother. And then there's this mystery of like where her mother is. Her mother has disappeared. And so you know, after that first chapter, I was like, okay, yeah, I need to know more about this. So that's what I really liked about it, like the family aspect. You know, and she, you know, like most superhero origin stories, you know, she's not confident. She's trying to find her way. She's already being put in the situation of being with older kids, and she's younger, and she's really smart. So she also has to carry that, you know, stigma of being a smart Black girl. You know, they live in the projects, so there's like, you know, that stigma as well, of their environment. And yeah, so I'm just gonna stop there. But you know, that's why I picked it up. That's my first impression. Sorry, Miss Keys, but I gotta be honest. But I came around, and I really like I started to really enjoy it. What about you?
One, I don't think Alicia cares. Like, she's one. I got 16 Grammys. So, like, so I think Alicia will be okay. Miss Keys. Yeah, why did I pick it up? I picked it up because I think the reason why I came on my radar was that it was Alicia Keys, because it was a Black superhero story, so I'm here for that. And then also, like, it it wasn't just a Black superhero, it's stuff that the Black community had been trying to process for like generations, right? And doing it in a way where it wasn't just all trauma.
Mhm.
So yeah, I was just like, I was really excited for all those things, and just reading like the preview, watching and reading the preview videos. I just love the voice of Lolo Wright. And so
Yeah.
like, I think I had, like, I'm fortunate, like, I was able to talk to people before I read the book, and like, I love the part of the grandma, or like, you know, the dad and all that kind of stuff. And so it's like, I was excited to see like that family dynamic, because when I read Nubia, um, the character in that origin story was cool, but also seeing how she interacted with her family was super amazing. So I see some yeses in the chats. So I'm glad you agree with me, or something I said, or agreed with something. So and so yeah, and I love, I mean, even like, I just love the authenticity of even the cover. Like, I love the big braids, which is like, how could Alicia Keys have a graphic novel and not have a main character with braids? Even like the cuff, like the sweatshirt was very like, not Brooklyn sister, but very Brooklyn still. And like, you see the Brooklyn Bridge in the background. So I just loved like the cover and the way that looked and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
So we'll go to, there's so many ways I want to go, but let's go with, I also don't want to give away spoilers. What was your favorite scene in the first chapter, if you remember?
Ooh, favorite scene in the first chapter. Mm. Well, I don't want to give away too much about
Right.
it.
You're like, what do I give away? Yeah, what can I say?
Well,
I'll
because
just
I
add
think,
go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say, I think what I really liked, okay, so the first scene was also the introduction of um, another character that I'm excited to see how that develops. Michael, the runt, who also, so I'm gonna hold that up. Where's Michael? There's Michael. Look at Mike. Look at that face. Look at that face. So, you know, we're introduced to Michael, and we're given hints, we're given clues that Michael, you know, he also is facing kind of the same issues and challenges that Lolo is, right? He's small, why he's called Runt. He really wants to play football, like that's his lifelong dream. But you know, right away the coach is like, "You're too small, you're too tiny," and so you know, so he now has the same kind of parallel challenge that Lolo does of like wanting to fit in, wanting to do the thing that he's always wanted to do, but being told that he can't do it, and you know, it's interesting to see like how their paths diverge, right? So he kind of goes towards like the dark side, right? So he's like, I feel like he's like the Kylo Ren of the story. I'm gonna nerd out. I told you I'm gonna nerd out. And so I think that was my favorite part of the first chapter was again like being introduced into her world, but then also being introduced to this character who you start kind of right away feeling for, right? Because you can completely relate. totally relate to being told that you can't do something, and then there's really nothing he can do. Like physically, he can't grow, so he's got to figure out a different thing, right? And so that was my first part. That was my favorite part of the first chapter, was being introduced to Runt and seeing what happens to his storyline.
Agreed. And it's like, he's like, the coach is like, if you grew, he's like, I grew a half an inch. And it's like, I was like, you can't even let him try out. So that was difficult to watch, to read. Who was your who was your favorite character besides Lolo?
Besides, well, I think it's Runt. I think Runt is like my favorite character because he also has like a full story arc through the whole first book. So I think he's my favorite character. Second to that would be Lolo's best friend,
Nina.
Nina. Yes, I was like, oh wait, her name just left me. I love her fieriness. I love, like she's such a supportive best friend. I just love the dynamic between she and Lolo. Like they know when to bother each other, they know when to leave each other alone. Like they act like sisters, and that was a beautiful thing to see, like that sisterhood between them. Even though there's some things that develop later on with the brother, we're gonna have to see how that plays out.
I mean, it's literally be sisters. I'm sorry. I like Nia, and I feel like, I mean, I don't know Alicia Keys, but I was like, if Alicia Keys was a teenager, she'd probably move in the world a lot like Nia. So I appreciated Nia's character. What is something like you're like, oh, I really enjoyed about Girl on Fire? And what is something that you're like, oh, I wish there was more of whatever?
That's a great question. Thank you. What I do wish there was, for us. Okay, we just got done talking about Nia, but like, Nia kind of, she pops in and out throughout the whole book, right? She's not necessarily a constant, but obviously like Lolo's the main character. I would have liked to have seen a storyline that amplified issues that Black girls are dealing with. It felt a little, so like also in the first story, or the first chapter, there's a altercation that happens with the police. And, that storyline is something that we definitely need to keep talking about because it's still an issue that we are still contending with, 100%. But I think for me, I would love to see a storyline where we're amplifying issues that Black girls are dealing with. I mean, the rates of Black girls that disappear in this country globally is just astronomical, and their cases go unsolved. The Black girls are one of the most trafficked women globally as well. And so I guess, and it's called Girl on Fire. So I think I was like really hoping that there would be more focus on issues that were related more to the struggles that Black girls are dealing with right now. Now, that being said, I also know this is the first book, and the way that it's written, I'm hoping that there's more to come. So I'm holding out that there's going to be more with Lolo, and as she moves through the world, that her powers will, help everybody, but that there can be some storylines that really that we can talk about how Black girls have to navigate, how they have to watch themselves, and how do you do that when you don't have a superpower? So those were some things that I'm waiting for. I'm excited for, hopefully.
Yeah, no, that's a good call out because I mean there is the whole powerful Black woman stereotype. And it's kind of like, it's a big, so not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a big theme in the book. Like, Lola's smarter than her brother. Now she has superpowers and her brother doesn't like. So yeah, and it's like, who does, like in this book, there wasn't really anybody for Lolo to turn to or a space where she was dealing with her problems except for when Nia was like, tell me your secret because we can talk about it and maybe solve it. But yeah, so that's a powerful point, and yes, so I agree with that. And something you wanted to see. I think for me, I 100% agree with you. I was like, wow, why didn't that come up for me? What I wanted to see more of in book one was where were the parts coming from? Is it like a Black Lightning type of thing where there were like genetic experiments, or like Is she
Right.
an alien? like, why is it just her and Ryan? Like, is it something with the projects? Like, why is it her? Like, so that was when I was like, does her mom know something? And like, well, she like staying, like, drop a little knowledge? Like, where's she
Right.
going, right? So, I mean, so I went, and maybe they left it that way to set up a book too. Um, I, but I felt kind of, I mean, even though I want to know like where she got her powers from, I felt like, oh, this is like a good ending to book one. I felt like complete, you
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Well, I would say with the exception of there's the mother character. I'm really glad that you brought that up about, the character of the mom because again, she floats in and out, which is fine, but it was like really in that whole 16 years, you never were like, hey baby, there's a possibility one of the kids might have a superpower. You know what
I
I mean?
think that was fun that she floated in and out, and then she comes in like, let me see the kids, and it's like, wait,
Oh,
where you been? Like, and then it's like, look, this is not me being petty. I'm just trying to protect my kids. No, you can't see them. And then she in the park. And I was like, he set a very clear boundary, which you violated, right? I was just like, I don't like, so they didn't set up the mom to be like, for the reader to have a lot of empathy or connection or understanding with the mom. And I'm like, you kind of want to like, she's a Black woman. Like, I'm sure she's doing something. Like, she is a mom, but I'm like, it's hard to, yeah.
yeah. In that part, yeah, I'm really glad that you said that because that part did feel, it did feel written heavily with a male gaze. I mean, um, because I just feel like I mean, you set it up so perfectly that, she just was kind of like a filler. There was no backstory, and maybe we'll get that in book two, but it was almost like as if she was set up that you weren't supposed to have empathy for her. And I feel a little uh that's a complicated approach for me. I feel like, every person has two sides to them. There's a reason why they do, good people do good things, and sometimes bad things, right? And bad people sometimes luck out and do a good thing. But there's like everybody has a dichotomy. And so I felt like it was too heavily weighted on the fact of like, she's crazy, there's something wrong with her, like again, we saw nothing that to your point, that we would be sympathetic to who she is, why she's there, and why she had to separate herself from her daughter. Because obviously she had a very good reason to have to separate herself from her family.
We know. I mean, because she came back, and then Army Vet 5 says because they make us think that Black women don't need empathy.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah, and get that be ingrained. Wow, that is something. That is something that I'll bring up with my therapist. Yeah. So that is the mom. Let's talk about skin. So I had to sit. I'm like, do I say this out loud? Because this will be recorded and like floating around in the internet until like the end of times. But like when I read the description, like, oh, like Lolo demonstrates her powers, and then the drug dealer wants a piece of that. I just assumed like the drug dealer would be a person of color, and I was like, what has American media done to me? And so and skin is not right.
Right.
So what did you think of? So what was your experience being introduced to skin in the book?
Like you, I was pleasantly surprised that he wasn't a person of color. I really was. I'm curious to know, why Skin, like that is his name or nickname, whatever, but okay. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised too. I'm glad that he wasn't a person of color. I did have questions though, because, I mean, he has superpowers, and I'm.
But continue.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. You didn't hear that. See, this is why we should have written bullet points of what we can talk about. What we can't talk
Sorry, yeah, you're right. I should have said something.
Okay. Well, okay, so skin just does some things. And I was curious to know, like, why he had to surround himself with other people. Like that didn't really make sense to me. Um, did it to you?
Oh, why he needed other powerful people?
Well, or just people at all. I mean, that's one thing I just was like, I don't know, and why he had his little like henchmen when I didn't really know what they served for him when he was supposed to be able to take care of himself.
Yeah, Skin reminded me a lot of Tobias. I don't know. Did you watch Black? Anyway, and Black Lightning, the character Tobias Whale, who's super smart, can live forever, never dies, super strong, but always has like a bevy of henchmen. And I think it's because, Tobias Whale is powerful, but also enjoys telling people what to do, right?
Yeah.
And having them do it. And just having that power. And Skin just seemed a lot like that person, like just like understanding how people tick, putting them in situations where they're forced to do something. Like with the whole situation with Lolo's dad, he didn't need Lolo's dad's collection money. He just wanted like the idea of forcing him to do something.
Right.
So
Well, he was using that as a way to manipulate her to join him. So
right.
I understood that part. But I was also like, I guess for me, he wasn't as villainous as I wanted him to be. I wanted him to be just a little more. Um, I did, yes. I didn't feel like he was that much of a threat.
You're like, I need him to be more evil. I, wow.
I feel like he could have been more evil. I feel like he could have played up, like to your point, the fact that like he was a white drug dealer. I feel like he could have played that piece up a lot more too, in terms of just like his identity in the projects. Yeah, I wanted just a little bit more from him. See, I'm like, don't, like, I'm like, not, don't give it away. But yeah, I thought that he could have. I wasn't satisfied for a villain for him. I wanted more of him to. Yeah.
I think
You know
it's
what?
so fascinating.
I also had to remind myself too that I'm not necessarily the age demographic here either. And
Right. Right.
right.
So we had Runt, who was somewhat multidimensional, but in general the characters were, and the mom who's like a bit of a mystery. But they're kind of, Lolo's a good girl. Nia is a solid best friend. You know, James is the older, but like not the brightest older brother. You have like Eric, who's like, the noxious boy in econ class. And I was like, how you in AP econ class and you can't do none of the math, bro? What's that? Like, get out of here. You're like, what's supply? What's demand? What? Get your butt out of remedial econ. I mean, that sounds like that, and it's not. But I was like, get AP econ.
Well, but wait, he also comes from money. Remember, he comes from money.
Wow. So like, yeah, I mean, so I guess that makes sense. And his dad is like, I don't care if he gets it or not, he's gonna be an AP. I'm gonna send him to a public school, but then make sure
Make it make sense. I know. I'm trying.
yeah. So yeah, I was just like, Eric. So Eric is the name of the guy who's completely annoying in the econ class. I was like, if you don't get your life together, bro. You don't get your life together.
Right.
But yeah. So you're right. So I think there's a lot to do, like potentially do with Skin. Did they do it in the no? But like it was like a nice light read, and I think reading this graphic, I was like, wow, I can finish it. Like I'm a really slow reader, and I was like, wow, I can finish it. You know? So I was like, I need to read some right now. So yeah, so
Well, you know, people have asked me, they're like, would you recommend this book? Um, and when I've read that first page, I was like, ooh, I don't know. But but after reading the whole thing, I would say like I would recommend that kids read it because I think, you know, aside from the things that we've talked about, the just the representation alone is a beautiful, beautiful thing from beginning to end. They do a really good job with Lolo, that character. Again, her representation, her origin story. She's a black superhero. For sure, kids need to see that. So I would highly recommend it. And it's an entertaining read. You know, you have fun with it. Like there's fun, there's a lot of fun moments. Like the girls in the bathroom, that's all I'm gonna say, was funny. That was cute. I was like, yes, I want to see that. Cool. Um,
and I actually also because sometimes I like things to be like very like transparent. Like for some reason the exposition felt like I was walking into like a 1950s television set, like, oh, and this is the dad, Billy Wright, like you know,
exactly.
a moving company called Wright Movie. I was like, I like that. Thank you for breaking that down for me. Um, so, but yes, so I'm glad you like would recommend it, particularly for younger users, because that's the intended demographic. So yeah, I'm here for it.
Me too. Me too. And I want more. I want another book. I really do. I really do. Maybe Miss Alicia Keys will call me and I can co-write it with her. I'm just gonna put that onto the universe. Manifest, manifest. No, I mean
And
it
you
was
gotta watch out because Angela coming for your job. Yeah.
there's enough to go around for us all. But so I did have a question for you. What is your favorite Alicia Keys song?
Oh, my favorite Alicia Keys song is "Gonna Date Me," but it's still falling. Um, and I think that was like maybe her first single or the single that like blew up. But like it was so I'm Scorpio. It was so emotional, right? It's like I was like, oh my God, yes, I feel you. And like the video was so intense, like, and then like the whole setup, like she's visiting her man in jail, and she sees like you see the people working in the like in the fields, which I was like, I don't know if there would be people in the fields between like where you are in New York and going to, but anyway, but it was still like super dramatic, and then like yeah, so I just it's still falling, um
Hmm.
yeah, and maybe it's not really her song, but like Empire State of Mind, like the New
Mhm.
York song. Yeah. Yeah. What about you?
Mine is gonna date me too, is cool. But and mine is also a cover. It was she did a cover of a Prince song. Remember, I'm from Minneapolis, so
Okay.
um,
Okay.
it's a cover of his song "How Come You Don't Call Me."
Oh,
And if you go back and watch the video reminds me, the official video for the song, reminds me a lot of actually Lolo, which is interesting,
yes.
right?
You know,
Because
I didn't realize that was a cover.
yeah, it's a cover, and she sings it better than he does, in my humble opinion.
Ooh, okay,
I
I like
know those are fighting words. I know people are gonna
yeah.
come for me.
Yeah, but I didn't realize that that was a cover. So, oh yeah, because that's the wait, no, that's girlfriend. Because I'm like trying to like look at the video. Oh, let me turn down the sound. So it's
Okay,
like, what happens in How You Don't Call Me?
she's waiting for her man to call her, and so she's just like,
Yeah, she's like walking around the house with like the bunny slippers. Yes, I do
yes,
remember. I
yes.
did. I was like, oh, she was so cute. She was so cute. And she was probably like literally 15. Like, look, yes, 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 yes.
I love that. So that's my favorite Alicia Keys song.
Yeah.
And also because I saw her, I think it was her first tour. She came to Minneapolis and she was opening for Maxwell. So just imagine Alicia Keys, yeah, and Maxwell, okay?
And that must have been, if that was songs in A minor, he was probably still doing stuff from Embria, maybe?
Yeah, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it was his best album, but I mean, not that Maxwell cares, but
We
if Maxwell, if you want my opinion, Embryo was your best album. So,
can have our opinions. It's okay. But no, but that is my favorite hands. I mean, of course, yeah, like Empire State of Mind and Girl on Fire. I mean, I love all of her music, but I think that one for me really like because it has a memory tied to it, a very specific memory. Um, but that I just love that song. I love her cover.
yay. So I'll drop that. I'll ask that to the people in the audience. What is your favorite Alicia Keys song? Um, Angela, question I have for you is so this is a graphic novel based off of Girl on Fire. What song would you love to see made into a graphic novel?
Ooh, wow. Can it be any artist?
Any artist, any genre.
Mm. I mean, I think that you could make so many graphic novels out of Prince songs. Now that I say that, you know, I like I mean his song, his lyrics. He's just an amazing lyricist. So I feel like if I wanted a graphic novel, oh man, this
I
is such
think
a
about
great.
that.
Yeah, well,
Karen's favorite Alicia Keys song is "Go Ahead" from I guess her "As I Am" album. So, yeah.
yes.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember that. But it sounds like a good song.
Okay, I want to see a graphic novel of Purple Rain.
Ooh, you like it was a movie, it should now be a graphic novel. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah, I'm here for it.
What about you?
I was like, don't ask me that question because I don't know. I was like, don't ask questions you don't have an answer to. So there's like some obvious stuff like Little Mo's like Superwoman.
Mm,
Um,
mm, mhm.
that's super obvious. Almost anything by Missy Elliott.
Oh, yes. No, that's
Yeah.
brilliant.
So like
Talk about some Afrofuturism.
yeah.
Woo.
Like I Can't Stand the Rain, like all of those made great graphic novels. Um I think I think maybe Erica Badu's I think it's her maybe second New World Order where like in the video she's like walking around the desert but she looks kind of like an alien. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah.
the one. And then I mean like obviously like um Janelle Monáe's second album would probably make a great. So yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah. I'm glad somebody agreed with me. So I think Double K, thank you for loving all of these. I feel validated because I'm coming off the cuff. Um Rude Lenex says, You Don't Know My Name. That's also a good one. There's a chapter in the book named You Don't Know My Name.
Hmm.
So here for that. So in terms of Alicia Keys songs. So yeah, I think a lot. I mean, like I think this should be a trend, like songs becoming graphic novels. Like there's a trend, novels becoming graphic novels, but I think songs should not become graphic novels.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here for it. Yes,
Yeah,
I would love that. I think that's brilliant. That's
yeah.
absolutely brilliant.
So I mean, I don't write or draw or publish, but I do. I do think it's a beautiful idea for whatever it's worth. So okay, yeah, plenty of time. So you're a fan of Girl on Fire Book Two. What would you want it to center around? What would you want to happen?
Well, I definitely want to understand the mother's storyline. Like that has like I want to know. Yeah, I want to know about her. I want to know what happened, why she had to leave the family, where she's been, you know, why she's come back. I want to know all of that. Um, you know, and oh, see, and like, like I don't want to give away too many things. Um, uh, mm, I want to know how what happens with Lolo. See, I don't, the end, like they're all together. So I want to know now how they move as a family, without trying to give too much away, because like there's an addition. So I want to know like how they all now relate to each other, right? And then like how her superpower develops. And to your point, like what is the origin story of her superpower? Why does she have this? Where did it come from? And what exactly, we only know kind of, I feel like, the base level of what she can do. I feel like there's so much more behind her superpower that we're going to learn about. Um,
When she goes in to save her brother, she saves her brother a couple times. Like that amplification of her powers, I was like, oh, wait, okay, we see you now. So yeah, yeah.
she leveled up at the end. I was like, okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, so I want to see more. I want to see how that evolves for her too, for Lolo. And then I also want to see her, like, does the superpower help her get out of her shell? And if it does, then who is Lola or Lolo? You know what I mean? Like, who is she when she's not confined to making herself small?
Ah, that's a good one. Um, yeah, I agree with that. Like, what does Lolo want with her life? Yeah, what would she pursue if she wasn't saving the dad, saving like, yeah. I like that. Double cases. I think individual family mindsets would be awesome. I don't, if you could elaborate on, maybe I'm kind of miss individual mindsets. What does that mean? Do you know, Angela?
Can you say it again?
I think individual family mindsets would be awesome. So I
Oh,
think,
so maybe just more connection to the interior of other characters. So like where the brother's coming from, maybe that's how I interpret it. So, and I agree with that. Like a little bit more, there could be more development of each of the individual characters. That's so it's not so centered around Lolo, I call her Lola, Lolo, but we understand like how the people in her world function also,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Double K, if just let us know in the chat if we got that understanding correct.
Yeah.
Like use of how brother saw her rescue. Got it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So you got it 100% right, Angela. Um, yeah, I'm here for all those things. So how would you compare Lolo? Oh, and for those of you who have, yes, I was like, there's a question on my mind. So for those of you who have read the book, let us know what you hope the next book in the series, if there's a next book in the series, will be about. And then Angela, I was like, the other question that was rolling around in my head, yay or nay? So the mean girl is plus size. Did you love that? Or were you like, that's not what I wanted to see? Okay,
Oh,
that would be like two thumbs up. Okay.
yeah. I was all for that. I want to see more for that. I love that. I love where there are a variety of body shapes. Definitely. I love seeing that representation. I want to see more of it. I love seeing that, she and very comfortable in her own body, right? There's no issue with that. That was never brought up. That's how the character looked. It wasn't a hindrance. And so that's what I loved about it. So yay, yay, more.
I'm here for it. Yeah, because I was like, oh, she's the mean girl, right? Like she's the queen bee. She's the one. She's like, I'm pretty. Look at me. I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. Um, without giving, what did you think about the reconciliation at the end between like people that Lolo earlier in the book had tension with? Did that sit well with you, or you're like, oh, this is we're tying everything up in a bow?
It felt a little tied up in the bow, because I think there was like one character in particular that happened, that reconciliation happened, and I was like, oh, they do not deserve her. Like, how dare you can go kick rocks? You have been like, like it's not that easy. It's not that easy. So
Something happened off book, right? So yeah, yeah.
So I
I
mean,
yeah,
I know it had to happen, but like, yeah, I would have been okay if like there'd still been tension at the end. It's okay. Like nothing's
right,
that perfect in life.
right. Um, yeah, last question, because I want to talk more about your books and your next projects, and then we'll close with some rapid fire questions. I think there's something I borrowed from you. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's something I stole from you. So,
You
um,
borrowed. You borrowed. You paid it forward. You're paying it forward.
yeah, I was like, it's not borrowing because I'm not giving it back. But um, what shenanigans do you think Skinny will be getting into if there's a book two?
Hmm. I mean, to be completely honest, I'd be cool if there was like a whole nother villain. Like Skin can stay where he is. Don't want to give it away. But if he were to come back again, I would love, it'd be, he's perfectly suited to be doing some of those storylines that I talked about, like, that were more like female focused, black girl focused. He's definitely in that position that he could do those things. And yeah, so I hope maybe there will be some storyline that is more around girls.
Okay,
I'm
here for
I'm
it.
here I'm here like, like protect black girls, like amplify black girls, like I'm rooting for all black girls.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So are we. Okay, so tell us about your books. Tell us about like what's next in the hopper. Tell us about like where we find out more about Angela Dalton.
Oh, this is really nice of you because it's Alicia's day, so but I do appreciate that. Well, actually, before I answer this, can I ask you a question?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so if we were going to turn Girl on Fire into a movie, who would you cast as Lolo?
I was like, I was like, oh, she's gonna ask me to fan cast. I'm so bad at fan casting. I was like, I don't know any of these people. So now I have to think, who would I make Lolo? Um, maybe the daughter from Black Lightning, but that's um, yeah. She was also in the craft, so I guess she has like an affinity to for sci-fi stuff.
Yeah,
Or she's mixed race, but the girl who was in A Wrinkle in Time and was the baby sister in Euphoria,
Storm
maybe.
Reed. Storm Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Kim Reed.
Yep.
Um, who else? Um, I want to say like maybe the baby sister in Blackish.
Yes,
But
Marseille.
yeah, but I don't know what she do. She like I'm doing my own stuff now. I'm not doing it, but so yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
those would be three. What about you?
Marseille was number one, the daughter from Blackish. Well, wait, are you talking about Diana, the little one, or the
The
Yara?
little,
Yara?
yeah, yeah, the little one.
Okay,
The
yeah, the little one. Okay, good. Yeah, we're on the
yeah, the
same
one.
page.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, so she was like my number one pick. I would love
Oh,
her.
okay, so we gotta tag her, let her know she needs to make this into a movie and like make that happen. So yeah,
She'd be perfect. She'd be amazing.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you okay.
Oh no.
Like Messiah Bus.
Yes, exactly. Like I think she's my only, yeah. Like as I was reading, that was who was kept coming up for me. That's what I do when I read. I'm like, okay, who would I cast in this book?
Let me just look at the word song because I was like, I don't know. So yeah, okay, I'm awesome. That makes me feel something. Cool.
Okay, so thank you. I appreciate you asking about my work. Yes, I'm a picture book author. I have three picture books out. One just came out this week called Show the World. Yeah, yes, it's called Show the World. It's based in Oakland. I like to describe it as a love letter to the Black and brown children and their creativity, specifically in Oakland, because as you know, Oakland is a magical place. So many good, amazing talent has come out of Oakland, right? So, ooh, that's another possible cast. Zendaya is from Oakland, so she could be a good Lolo.
I mean, like, she was in my head because I talked about the younger sister, and then I was like, I don't know why it was in my head. I think it was actually, yeah, I think, yeah, you're right. You're Catholic.
Uh, so Show the World just came out on Tuesday. And I have another book that came out last year called Ruby's Reunion Day Dinner, which is about a little girl who's trying to find her signature dish to make for her family's family reunion. So yeah, and then the first one that came out in 2018 is called Show the World. No, that's
I was like, oh, okay.
it's been a long week. It's been a long week. Not enough wine. The first book is actually called If You Look Up to the Sky, and it's about a grandmother teaching her granddaughter that the many ways that the sky can connect us when we're far apart.
Oh, I love it. So, so this drink is actually non-alcoholic, FYI, in case you're wondering. Um, Two, let's read some reviews for Show the World. So Kirkus review says, thoughtful and inquisitory, show kids the world is their oyster by giving them this, show kids the world is their oyster by giving them this thought-provoking book. That's on the review. Makes perfect sense. It was just the translation. So, and let's Booklist. It was also reviewed by Booklist, so awesome reviews. Dalton's encouraging prose and People's vivid illustrations will inspire young readers to explore various modes of self-expression and find an outlet to help them be themselves and also learn more about their community and the world. Readers of all ages will find comfort in this book. Oh, how amazing! Here for it, here for it. And when, we are just waiting for your sci-fi children's picture book.
Oh, I hope Army Vet 5 isn't here. It's happening. It's happening. I have a lot of ideas, and I do very much want to do that. I think there's definitely a need for sci-fi picture books, especially that center a Black child as the main character. So I'm ready. Um, so I have to give a shout out to Army Vet 5, Winsome Bingham. She is the writer of a children's book called Soul Food Sunday. I will get it out my mouth, girl. Soul Food Sunday. And she and I actually met and she's also my editor. Yes, she's already out in the comments. But she's amazing. This book is so amazing. And that's how we met because I had Ruby's Reunion Day Dinner, which centers a Black girl, and soul food is the food that her family's making, and Winsome's book is about soul food also, but it's about a grandmother teaching her grandson how to make soul food. And so we met on a panel and just became fast friends, and she's just a brilliant writer. So definitely got to give a shout out to her as well.
So what does that mean? She was your editor. Like, what is the editing process? Yeah, I guess this is. I don't write, right? So you can be like, Isis, that was a very stupid question.
No,
like I'm learning. But like, what's the editing process for a children's picture book?
Well, okay, so Winsome, aside from being an amazing and brilliant writer, she is also the acquiring editor. See, I need to get her title right, or else she will be after me. Acquiring editor at Raycraft Books, and they do wonderful books. Go check them out. So she has been helping me with a story idea that I'm hoping that Raycraft Books will acquire. So she really she took my manuscript and worked with me on how to make it stronger, telling me hey, maybe move this piece up to this part because it's more impactful opening, just really guiding. I mean, it's almost like a book doula, to some degree of helping you.
So what I hear is I need to tell Winsome that what Angela needs to do next is a sci-fi picture book, and then she will help you give birth to. Okay. Yeah, I'm learning.
Oh wow, okay.
And story. So got it. So now it's how to tell a compelling sci-fi story. And sci-fi or fantasy, so it doesn't have to be technology. It could be witches or
All right.
fairies. Or
Well, Winsome, you know what I'm working on next, so.
I'm only one voice in the herd, so but yeah. Oh yeah. So tell me more.
Well, another thing that I'm working on, or have been working on, is I'm working on my first novel. I'm working on my first YA novel. Um, yeah, I'm having a lot of. What's that?
Right? That's so different, like writing a children's picture book versus a YA novel.
It's so different. It's so different. I mean, with a children's book, the you have a set word count. So usually a picture book is going to be about 500 to 700 words, which is challenging, to try to create a whole world, to have a main character that you connect with right away, to tell their story from, the beginning, the middle, and the end, and whatever the theme or the message of the story is. Like, to try to get that all in like 700 words is a challenge, but I like it because I like puzzles. So to me, writing is a lot like puzzles. With a YA novel, like now we're talking about anywhere from 50 to 70,000 words, which is a lot, but it gives you a lot more space to really dive into the character and their backstory and why they do things and why the people around them do things, and how are they going after the thing that they want, what's standing in their way. You just have a lot, there's like a bigger box to play in, which is really fun. And this story is really focusing, it's a historical fiction. It takes place in the 50s, and it's about a young Black girl in the South who wants to become a famous songwriter. And yeah, because like she's seen like Billie Holiday, and she's seen Ella Fitzgerald and Lena Horne, and so that's really fun. It's been fun for me to go back and listen to the music of all of these amazing talented Black women in the music industry during that time. But I've also been finding a lot of stories of just unsung women, their stories, right? And so, and to have a larger scope of that, there were women who were doing things beyond singing or being a backup singer, that there were business women involved in the industry, whether that was booking shows or finding new talents, being talent scouts. So that's been a really cool exploration of like understanding, Black people have done so much, we have done so much. And we don't get the recognition that we deserve for the things that we have done. And so that is what writing this book has really meant to me, of like really putting these women at the forefront and having this girl navigate, trying to make this dream of hers come true. And especially in 50s, in the South,
Right.
there's a lot to play, there's a lot to look at and contend with, but also to bring the light. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and so how does publishing work? Like, do you have like a deal where like a publisher is like, okay, Angela, you got a deadline, or do you have an idea and write it and then kind of pitch it and it goes to auction?
It goes to auction. Oh, you make it sound so easy. Well, that's after you've cried many, many times and want to give up, and you've decided not to after thousands of times of, rejection letters and all of that. Once you have a manuscript, if you have an agent, obviously your agent is submitting it to different publishing houses, and they have a relationship with editors already. So they have, a good understanding of who's going to connect with your story, right? And once you find an editor, it takes that one yes, right? That one yes. They take your story and they have to present it to a larger group. So your story is under intense scrutiny from the creative department to the sales department to the marketing department to the school program department. Like, everybody kind of has a say in what they think the success of the book will be. Which is, kind of the hard side of the business side, but it is also still a business. And so if there's buy-off on everybody that they believe that the book, has the potential to be successful, then they'll acquire and they'll make an offer to the author through their agent. But so at that point, you've you've pretty much you've written the whole thing, and you've gone through many rounds of revisions, but there will always be notes. So the editor will come back to you and say, here's some things that I want you to work through, and they'll give you a deadline to work through them. But at that point too, and Winsome is great for this. She's just very comforting and walks with you every step of the way. Like she always just makes me feel better. She knows how much I struggle with my depression and my anxiety. And so she's always like, we've got time. It's okay. It's fine. I'm not, and I just love her for that. So she's a very nurturing editor, and you don't always find that. Some editors are strictly business, and they just give you your marching orders, and they expect you to turn it around, and yep, that's it, because they've got they've got 10, 20, 30 other authors that they're working with at any time. So it's not an easy job by any stretch of the imagination, but I do appreciate the time and energy that Winsome puts into it. It's very rare to find that.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Okay, 3 minutes. You know what that means.
Oh, okay.
Question time. Okay. So first question is trying to think of the.
I see you, Winsome. You did not pay me to say that. Stop.
Oh, wait. I didn't even see the comments come up. But yeah. So with rapid fire questions, please feel free to drop your response in the chat. There are no wrong answers unless you holistically disagree with me. So the first question is Janelle Monáe or Erykah Badu?
Wow. Ouch. What? You couldn't even ease into
It's like I ask that question like every week, and I always get like the same response, and I keep asking.
Oh. Okay. I gotta go Erykah Badu, because I just feel like Erykah paved the way, for a Janelle Monáe to be here. So I have to say Erykah Badu.
Okay, no right or wrong answer. So
Okay.
Naomi, and this is talking about the comic books, and you could be like, I don't care. Naomi or Nubia, and this is the teenage Nubia comic book by L.L. McKinney.
Nubia.
Oh!
Nubia, yeah.
This is my first time asking that question. So elaborate.
I just like Nubia's origin story. I just feel like again, in a space that has been white for a long time, I love her presence in it. I love her being in that world. I love, who she is, what she exemplifies. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just a pull. I don't know. I don't have anything specific. There's not a specific thing about her, but I just when I heard that the graphic novel or the comic was coming out, I was just like, yes, please, yes.
I'm here for it. So the next one, I'll ask the question correctly this time. Luke Cage or Black Lightning?
Well, okay, I have to go Luke Cage because I really don't know that much about Black Lightning. Yeah, if I'm going to be honest, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm personally team Black Lightning. I don't see any comments in the chat, so I guess y'all all agree with Angela, which is perfect. I see Luke. Okay. 2 people for Luke. I don't. Okay, but that's fine.
Well, that's only because I don't have a lot of I haven't watched really a lot of Black Lightning. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you need to watch and then you'll be like, oh, I understand why Isis prefers Black Lightning. No, it's totally okay. I think.
Oh yeah, someone loves Black. Rude Lennox loves Black Lightning.
Hey, Black Lightning. Awesome. I'm just like, am I out here by myself in the street?
Okay, well, what do you like between? Okay, so why do you favor Black Lightning over Luke Cage?
Roots, I think Ruth said it. Ruth Lennox. I liked, he has a family, like he's a part of the community. Like Luke Cage felt very isolated. Um, and like that like it was actually sometimes scary to watch him like have all that power and have so little self-insight. And with Black Lightning, the dude is far from perfect, but he was trying to like at least navigate that and figure out what was going on with him while also showing up for his family and the community. And he was like a principal. I felt like Black Lightning, and his alter ego Jefferson Pierce is like a man. I was like, oh, I can respect you. And sometimes Black Lightning, I was like, oh, he's so questionable.
Okay, that's cool. That's fair. I love it.
Yeah. So awesome. It is 6:02. This was so much fun. I really want to see you in real life. I know you're super busy, like writing and creating, writing that sci-fi children's picture book, writing that sci-fi YA novel. So I know you're doing a lot, and that's amazing.
Well, we can go on a walk and we can like throw some ideas off you, bounce some ideas off you.
Bet.
Okay.
Thanks. This is so much fun.
Thank
I appreciate you. Yeah, and whenever you want to come back, just let me know.
I will. I will. You know, I'm going to be going to the Janelle Monáe book discussion in San Francisco.
Yep.
So maybe after that we could talk. Are you going to go to it? I mean, you're like you're
yes,
yeah.
Yes.
You'll be there.
Yes, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Because I'm running the show. She's running the show. Let me just say, she's running the show.
I'm not running the show, the show, but I will be there.
Okay.
So we'll see each other there. I think my base was like, I think it started at 7:30, and so that means it'll be over around 9. And I know you have work the next day, so I just don't know. Like, people like, are we gonna do dinner afterwards or dinner after, like before? I was like, I don't know. But I would definitely see you there, and that's what counts.
Oh, good. Yes. Okay. There we go. Yeah. We'll make a point to meet up.
Yes. Okay. So just text me again.
Thank you so much for having me on and discussing this. This was so fun. I really appreciate it.
I enjoy it too. So, yay. Have a good night, and I'll see you soon. And bye, everybody else in cyberspace.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.